Boris Johnson said female suffrage only happened after cars invented because men realized women could run them down. Resurfaced video follows controversial article by PM criticizing single mothers.
Here's a summary of the article.
Boris Johnson said female suffrage only happened because men realized women could run them down with cars, in a video that has resurfaced on social media. Basically because men realized that women were at the wheel of a machine that could run them down. Mr. Johnson, who did not seem to be joking, then explained his theory in more detail, noting that opponents of female suffrage in the 1890s warned against women using bicycles. They were so hostile to women on bicycles that they would hang bicycles from trees to indicate their displeasure that women were being able to use these liberating pieces of technology, he added. There was also opposition to women riding bikes, partly because some people worried the bicycle could cause sexual arousal in women. Boris Johnson clearly has a real problem with women, Naz Shah, Labour's Shadow Women and Equalities Minister, said. The Conservative leader has also been criticised for saying Muslim women wearing burqas look like letterboxes and referring to gay men as tank-topped bumboys.
This post received a score of 25,790, with an upvote ratio of 89%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Not that anyone here cares, but the article itself says, Mr. Johnson, who did not seem to be joking, then explained his theory in more detail, noting that opponents of female suffrage in the 1890s warned against women using bicycles.
Greater than who did not seem to be joking. There goes the only reasonable explanation I can think of.
It was my first theory. What sort of walnut would believe something like that? Perhaps the answer is Boris fucking Johnson.
A cracked walnut.
Coconut.
Cucanut.
Canadian here. Can someone from the UK explain to me why he has 42% of the polls? What is the rationale behind that? Please no, polls are rigged, or billionaires own the media BS, you don't achieve fucking 40% plus just through that. Support for Tories plus Brexit parties seem larger than current support for Brexit, so I'm really puzzled.
Because a vast amount of working-class people, who are traditional Labour voters, have had closures of workplaces for years, and the Brexit vote was a chance for them to protest against the establishment, and now only the Conservatives are promising to get Brexit done, so that's who they're voting for, even though it's the party that has put them out of work and is cutting their benefits and reducing healthcare through further cuts to spending, all under the name of austerity. TLDR, protest vote that's gone on too long, and at this point they're too entrenched to change their mind. So in other words, the Tory party has learned from American Republicans how to get the working class to vote against their own self-interest? I'd argue the Tory party have been doing this for longer. Thatcher couldn't have stayed in power as long as she did, and John Major after her without convincing the working class that social welfare was in their worst interests. How Labour lost the 1992 general election is a mystery to me.
We've been at this since, at least, Reagan. There's a lot of commonality between Thatcher and Reagan's economic policies. He managed to divorce taxes from services in the mind of the typical voter here. He didn't want to take away Grandma's Social Security, he wanted to rein in government waste. He wasn't cutting food stamps, he was kicking all those welfare queens off the government teat. The cancer of the modern age.
No doubt about it. It's not just a coincidence that real wages haven't changed since the trickle-down bullshit was propped up.
For someone who allegedly keeps being misunderstood, he sure does say a lot of asshole things.
There's a respected news anchor in America that openly says women getting the right to vote was a mistake because if women didn't vote, every election in the 20th century would have been a Republican win except Goldwater versus Johnson. What a fucking tribalist.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.